Welcome back to our series on the Gospel of Matthew. In this episode, we'll be exploring chapter 2, where we see the visit of the wise men, the escape to Egypt, and some difficult moments in the early life of Jesus. This chapter reveals both the wonder and the danger that surrounded Jesus' birth. Let's dive in. Chapter 2 opens with the famous story of the wise men, or Magi, who came from the east to worship Jesus. These wise men were scholars, likely astrologers, who had seen a unique star in the sky, and they understood it to have a significant meaning, the birth of a great king. They traveled to Jerusalem and asked King Herod where this newborn king is. Naturally, this sends Herod into a panic. Herod was a ruthless ruler, so the idea of another king being born was a serious threat to his power. He consults with the religious leaders, and they confirm that the Messiah is prophesied to be born in Bethlehem. The arrival of the wise men is significant because it shows that Jesus' birth is drawing attention from beyond the Jewish world. These foreigners are some of the first to recognize and worship him. This foreshadows the global impact of Jesus' life and ministry. Herod, being the cunning ruler that he was, pretends to be interested in worshiping the child too. He tells the wise men to find the child and report back to him so that he can worship him as well. Of course, his real intention is to eliminate this threat. The wise men follow the star to Bethlehem, where they find Jesus with Mary. Overwhelmed with joy, they present him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. These were gifts fit for a king or a high priest. Each gift symbolizes something deeper about Jesus' identity and mission. After their visit, the wise men are warned in a dream not to return to Herod, so they head back to their country by another route. This marks a turning point as Herod's plans start to unravel. While the wise men are headed home, Joseph has a dream of his own. An angel warns him that Herod is seeking to kill Jesus, and Joseph is told to take Mary and the child and flee to Egypt. Without hesitation, Joseph obeys, and the young family escapes under the cover of night. This moment of fleeing to Egypt fulfills another prophecy. Out of Egypt I have called my son. This is a reminder that God's hand is guiding every part of Jesus' early life, even through the dangerous and uncertain times. Joseph's quick obedience continues to show his deep faith in God's direction. Herod, realizing that he's been tricked by the wise men, reacts with brutal violence. He orders the massacre of all boys in Bethlehem who are 2 years old and under in an attempt to eliminate the threat of this newborn king. This horrifying event is sometimes called the Massacre of the Innocents. Matthew tells us this event fulfills another prophecy from Jeremiah. A voice is heard in Ramah, weeping and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more. This is one of the darkest moments in the Christmas story. It reminds us that Jesus was born into a world of suffering, fear, and evil. Yet even in the midst of this tragedy, God is working to protect his son and bring hope to a broken world. After Herod dies, an angel appears to Joseph once again in a dream, telling him it's safe to return to Israel. So Joseph, Mary, and Jesus settle in Nazareth, fulfilling yet another prophecy that Jesus would be called a Nazarene. This quiet return marks the end of Jesus' early childhood, and from there, the stage is set for his future ministry. So that's Matthew chapter 2, a chapter filled with both wonder and danger. It's a story of divine protection, fulfilled prophecy, and a glimpse of the challenges that Jesus would face even as a child. The visit of the wise men shows that Jesus' birth was significant on a global scale, while Herod's actions revealed the dark forces that were already trying to stop him. In the next episode, we'll dive into chapter 3, where we meet John the Baptist and witness the beginning of Jesus' public ministry. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you throughout Matthew's Gospel.